Economic growth will address our needs: unemployment, healthcare services, transportation, infrastructure. And our youth's population is growing by the day, and we must find profitable means of engaging them. I just picked a few sound bites from that electrifying address by Mr. AIG-Imoukhuede, CON, the President, National Council, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And I'd like to respectfully ask that we put our hands together one more time for him. Thank you very much, sir. We are going to take an address by one of our chief hosts, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, the Speaker of the Nigerian House of Representatives. Please let's respectfully and joyfully welcome him to the podium.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, more than ably represented by his advisor on the economy, Excellency, distinguished Senate President, the leader of the House of Representatives, Chairman and Deputy Chairman of both Senate and House of Representatives Committees on Capital Market and Institutions, honorable colleagues, the President, Nigerian Stock Exchange, DG Securities and Exchange Commission, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, keynote speakers, other distinguished panelists, distinguished stakeholders, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to give this special message on the occasion of the opening ceremony of a stakeholders forum on the capital market and Nigerian economy, with the theme realizing the full potentials of the Nigerian economy through a proactive capital market legislation, which is organized, of course, by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Capital Market and Institutions. It is an undeniable fact that the global economic meltdown has affected the country's economy such that meaningful growth and development is becoming increasingly difficult. Fall in the oil price and the downward trend in the Nigerian capital market is eroding public confidence and stifling economic activities. Our overdependence on oil has made it imperative that Nigeria's source of foreign exchange earnings must be diversified. And alternative avenues to fund the national budget and grow the economy has become even more imperative. The capital market offers the best opportunity to diversify the economy by bringing fresh vistas and windows of investment. We are confident that the capital market can and should fill this gap by taking the lead in yielding opportunities that will help in revamping the national economy. As representatives of the people, we are aware of the dwindling fortunes of the capital market and by extension the economy, and we're poised to continue to contribute our quota to arrest this dangerous drift. Considering Nigeria's population, human and material resources, our capital market could do much better in terms of depth, breadth, size, liquidity, and access to investment opportunities. The Constitution gives the National Assembly exclusive legislative authority over capital market issues and is therefore appropriately suited to enact proactive laws or review existing laws on the capital market. Following items in the executive exclusive legislative list of the Constitution bear this out. Item 12 on the list is control of capital issues. Item 13 is designation of securities in which trust funds may be invested. Even the trade and commerce clauses in the list is also relevant. It is therefore necessary to point out further that the economic objectives of the nation encapsulated in the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy provided for in section 16, subsection 2C of the Constitution states that the state, and I quote, the state shall direct its policy towards ensuring that the economic system is not operated in such a manner as to permit the concentration of wealth or the means of production and exchange in the hands of a few individuals or a few groups. Section 16(1) of the Constitution further provides that the state shall, within the context of the ideals and objectives in the Constitution, harness the resources of the nation and promote national prosperity and efficient, dynamic, and self-reliant economy. What I've tried to show, ladies and gentlemen, is that the National Assembly has exclusive legislative authority on capital market issues that enable it to enact the Securities and Exchange Commission Act and other enabling legislations in this area. It should rely on this same authority amply given by the Constitution to enact new laws. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria as a nation is blessed with what it takes to be economically sufficient. Perhaps we may need to reflect hard on these questions. Why are we not getting it right? What have other countries done that we should emulate? How can we break away from economic backwardness? What do we need to do to rejig our capital market and reposition the economy? How do we stimulate entrepreneurship and create conditions for democratization of capital and shares? How do we encourage participation of small investors in large-scale projects, thereby engendering equitable distribution of wealth? How do we raise funds with which to address national infrastructure deficits? How do we direct resources to more productive sectors in order to accelerate growth and create jobs for our teeming school leavers who roam the streets daily in search of non-existent jobs? At the heart of these questions must be the realization, as it is said, that deep calls unto deep. Anything of value is never found on the surface. Concomitantly, for our market to deliver its full potentials, it must be deepened. This, I believe, is the major challenge before all of us here today. And I know that as experts, we will rely on you to craft out ways, to invent ways by which we can deepen our capital market to deliver on its potentials. Recently, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in collaboration with the capital market community, put together a Nigerian Capital Market Master Plan 2015 to 2025 as NCMM to grow the market and the economy. It is expected that when fully implemented, the plan will bring vibrancy to the market and change market fundamentals positively, thereby ushering in meaningful economic growth and development. As major stakeholders in the Nigerian project, the National Assembly strongly believes that a proactive engagement and collaboration between the legislature, the executive, and organized private sector will help to achieve the economic potentials of the Nigerian's capital market. It is indisputable that continued collaboration and buy-in of major stakeholders in the public and private sectors is one of the major ways of attaining the lofty ideals and salient objectives of the Nigerian Capital Market Master Plan. Indeed, the main actors of the Nigerian capital market are the Securities and Exchange Commission, regulatory, Nigerian Stock Exchange, stockbrokers, legal practitioners, trustees, issuing houses, registrars, etc., must all work together to rescue the market. And relevant also are the investors such as insurance companies, pension funds, institutional investors, individual investors, and the general investing public. Distinguished guests, it is in realization of the above facts and fulfillment of one of the commitments of the legislative agenda of the 8th Assembly that the National Assembly, through its committees on capital market and institutions, has put together these to the forum. It is also as a result that in the legislative agenda, the House of Representatives introduced sectoral debates on various aspects of the economy. Let me report that we have just concluded the first phase of the debates that featured relevant ministries and the following honorable ministers have appeared and or made presentations before the House in plenary. Honorable Minister of Information and Culture and Tourism, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu Obe, the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Honorable Minister of Communications, Barrister Adebayo Shutu, and finally, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeshon. We strongly believe that the capital market is a major tool for wealth creation and mobilization of funds to grow and diversify the national economy. We want to emphasize that any proposed legislation must find a way to protect ordinary Nigerians, some of whom have lost their life savings in the market due to fraudulent activities of some market players or players in the market. Many Nigerians have tales of woes from the irresponsible activities of these unscrupulous stakeholders in the market. The very recent regulatory sanctions to some stock brokers and market players is therefore a step in the right direction. As the Parliament, we want to assure you all that this is not going to be a mere talk shop. We solicit the understanding, cooperation of every participant here present at every segment of the forum, such as presenters, moderators, discussants, to be very objective, fair, firm, and frank in their contributions, suggestions, and interventions. Before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to seize this opportunity on behalf of the National Assembly and Steering Committee of this forum to express our profound appreciation and commendation to the organized private sector, regulatory agencies, government agencies, and other relevant stakeholders for their unwavering support and unflinching commitment towards the success of this forum. I believe that we can deepen this market. I believe that we can force the market to produce to its potentials. And I want to conclude by saying, may God bless you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Very well put. May God bless us all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think he deserves a louder round of applause, please. Let's give it to him. Thank you very much.